Welcome to this new episode of the Alex Show TV. This episode is from October the 10th of the year 2025. Today is a Friday. Hope you're doing well on this Friday. And today we're going to start a two-episode series, only two shows, that we're going to talk about nine alien races. And I know this is a hot topic. I I'm not going to be afraid to talk about some stuff I'm very fond of, and I'm very interested in talking about this. I know some of you have made very clear to me that you believe that there are no aliens, that they're all demons. And in a way, I think you're putting a lot of weight in humans, that we're only the only good ones around the universe. And one thing I want to share with this two-episode series is let's take judgment out of it, because all of these nine alien races we're going to talk about, they have some work to do, same as humans, okay? So we're only in a line, we're only in a process, and that's both individually, I apologize for the cough, individually and also as a race, okay? So because we have so much to watch, four support videos, we're going to talk today about the Pleiadians, the Lyrians, the Sirians, and the Urmah, which I'm very fond of. I'm going to explain it. I left the Urmah for the end. Let's start with the Pleiadians, very well known. Who doesn't know the Pleiadians? I think in my humble opinion, in my feeling, the most known contact with Pleiadians is the Billy Mayer case out there in Switzerland, which I believe is totally fake. I believe there was some agenda behind it. Either was Billy Mayer and his family tried to profit from the books and everything. He profited a lot from being a farmer out there in Switzerland, I believe, with only one hand. He ended up securing financially his life and his family life with all the books and all the attention. That apparently, for some reason, the Pleiadians decided to focus on him. That's the part I believe the ego is it's a red flag immediately. Oh, they made contact with me. They were not interested in making contact with all humanity or with a child out there in Africa. No, they came to this farmer for some reason and so advanced, and that's the first red flag. The evidence he provided is ridiculous. It's honestly laughable. I made an episode on the Billy Mayer case a long while ago. I'm not sure if it made it to YouTube because it was when I was in other platforms, and I probably used material, support material, that I think I got a flag as maybe there were some issues with that. I'm I'm not sure if it made it. I'll probably redo it with either no material or some material that YouTube allows in the future, because it's an interesting case. But basically, in a nutshell, is what I already told you. Um, Totally fake. That's what I feel. He didn't have any contact with the Pleiadians, and the material he provided, either on purpose or it was just what he could produce in the 70s, was laughable. The guns, the guns, the plastic guns, he said they were laser guns, and no, it was honestly the pictures, all blurry, all they were debunked that they were from either books or magazines or even TV shows. He and the funny part was when he was asked why all the pictures are blurry. I mean, oh, it's because the density is different when I'm in the air, in the spaceship, and that in the UFO. I mean, really laughable case. And unfortunately, it's the most known case. So I think a lot of people joke with the Pleiadians. Also, the fact that they look like Nordics. Yes. Um, they are air quotes beautiful, both the women and men. I use air quotes because that's the judgment. What's beauty? Is that human beauty? Is that the beauty we have been programmed to believe is beauty? Again, you see where I'm going with this. So there are a lot of red flags with Pleiadians. Also, Pleiadians now vibrate in love, apparently, and they vibrate in harmony, and they vibrate in unity. They're allegedly in the 7D, so that's the level of frequency they're experimenting. The body becomes optional at that frequency. That's why some claim that they have seen Pleiadians, like these blue beams, blue lights, maybe they're seeing without their physical bodies. And that's great if they are there, okay? But they have a lot of history, and there's a lot of stories that Pleiadians are the old Anunnaki that have evolved into the Pleiadians. There's also very well-known story, very accepted story, that Pleiadians are actually exiled Sirians that after the wars, many wars, the Sirians escaped to the Pleiadian star system of 7 stars, and started like a new race with their background of Sirians, being part of a lot of wars. And the story I've shared many times, that there's this very well-known story that for no reason the Pleiadians went, and a planet full of reptilians, they almost destroyed it because they could, because they had the technology, because they just could do it. And there's no justification of saying, oh, the reptilians are horrible. Well, the Pleiadians were horrible to do that to them. And apparently some say that's the start, that the reptilians say, if we were here, we're not bothering anyone. If they came to our house and did this to us, we're gonna go to other planets and do that to other systems and other civilizations. The eye to eye is universal, apparently. That's the past. That's the evolution. That's the darkness. We're going to something different. A lot of people claim that the Pleiadians are getting there as far as the clarity, the harmony, the unity. Great if they are. Honestly, I have a lot of red flags to talk about the Pleiadians. I want just to be, I don't have a problem with them. It's just, I don't like the story that they're all off. Let's look at the whole picture, okay? Let's look at the support video. And I already spoke a lot about the Pleiadians, so I'll probably just jump immediately to the Lyrians after the support video, give you some final thoughts, because we have so much material to watch today. Let's start with the first one.
1. Pleiadians. The Pleiadians are inhabitants of the Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters. The Pleiades are an open star cluster located in the constellation of Taurus. However, some say that the Pleiadians used to live elsewhere, but due to a war, they were forced to move to the Pleiades. In fact, it is speculated that these extraterrestrials are descendants of the Lyrians, and because of a conflict with the reptilians, the Lyrians fled to other parts of the universe. The Pleiadians are often regarded as beings of light and love. They are said to be beings who are advanced both technologically and spiritually. These extraterrestrial beings are considered to be the closest relatives to human beings. The inhabitants of the Pleiades fall into the Nordic category due to their characteristic features. Additionally, it is believed that they possess telepathic powers. People who claim to have had contact with these extraterrestrial beings emphasize their remarkable beauty. It is said that they are blonde, very tall, approximately 1.90 m to 2.10 m in height, and have an excellent physical build. In addition to this, it is mentioned that their eyes are blue, large, and somewhat flattened in shape. They have long blonde hair. It can also be of a different color.
Okay, again, I must just say again that part of the beauty is a judgment, because that's human beauty, or what we in this planet have been programmed to believe is beauty. If you want to understand what I'm trying to say, just look at the great film Shallow Hal from 2001 with Jack Black. But he was deprogrammed. Apparently, they took the program out, and he started looking at some women that had a little weight issues, and that for him they were beautiful, because he was going beyond the programming that beauty is what you're seeing on the screen right now. Okay, that's a program, that's a parameter, that's a judgment. So that's another red flag for me for Pleiadians. And the relationship with humans. Do they appear beautiful to us, to seem friendly, to seem loving? That could very well be. I have a lot of conflicts with the Pleiadians as far as resonation and intuition. A lot of red flags, okay? I'm not saying they're horrible, I'm not saying they're anything like that. I'm just saying maybe we are being tricked a little bit about them, okay? So I'm gonna leave it to that, and I'm gonna jump to the second star race we're gonna talk about today. Sorry, I misspelled Lyrians. Put Lyrians, sorry about that. Lyrians, yeah, from the system of Lyra. On this one, let's watch the support video. I'm gonna do it opposite from the Pleiadians, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this star race. Let's watch it together.
Number 6. Lyrians. Who are the Lyrians and where do they come from? It is said that the Lyrians are our original ancestors, meaning the first human race in the universe. The Lyrians are extraterrestrials from Lyra. However, due to a war, many Lyrians were forced to leave their planet. That is how they spread throughout the Pleiades and the Vega system. Therefore, this suggests to us that the Pleiadians, as well as the Vegans, are descendants of the Lyrians. Apparently, that war was caused by an invasion of the Lyrian settlements by the Alpha Draconis. Since the inhabitants of Lyra are peaceful beings, they preferred to leave their lands rather than fight. What are the Lyrians like? It is speculated that the inhabitants of Lyra could have had different physical appearances. First of all, there would be those with white skin and blonde or white hair who would be like the Pleiadians. On the other hand, there were also red-haired Lyrians and giants who could reach up to...
Okay, yes. The Lyrians, again, on these 2 episodes, I'm gonna try to keep judgment out of it, okay? They're not good and bad. It's just evolution. But the Lyrians, let's just, instead of saying they're good, let's just label them as peaceful, okay? They were not, most of the wars they were forced to take part of. It's not a justification because, again, apparently they decided not to take part of some of these wars and flee, okay? So yes, these systems, all of these star races, they're very related. I will put 4 that are very related. I'm not gonna talk about the vegans from Vega, but Pleiadians, Lyrians, Sirians, and the Vega system, they are very related. So they claim it's basically actually a mix of these races, or the same one that just flee to one system or another and settle. Part of them settle somewhere else. If you wanna see a metaphor, let's just talk about the country. I don't know, Italians or something like that, and just part of Italians maybe move to Argentina, and part of Italians move to the US, and part like that, okay? Apparently they're settles, they settle somewhere else, especially because they are peaceful beings that they try to avoid war. Let's go to the third one, Sirians. This is interesting because the story apparently, again, and I'm gonna clarify again, I don't know anything, I just share my feelings, my intuition, and I use the support material to present you this excellent video I found, which, by the way, is originally in Spanish. Always, as always, on the credit section, I include the link, but it's going to be in Spanish. And Heijen is becoming great at the dubbing. Great. I'm using it lately, and I dub some chats and that, and it's amazing what it's doing as far as the dubbing. So that's why it feels even naturally that the video is in English, but no, it's originally in Spanish. So the Sirians, let's watch the support video. Apparently, the Sirians from Sirius A and Sirius B, there's a big difference as far one is more into being belligerent and being, mixing with wars and that, and the others are very similar to the Lyrians. Let's watch the support video.
Number 7. The Sirians. Who are the Sirians and where do they come from? The Sirians are extraterrestrial beings who may come from Sirius A or Sirius B. It is said that the Sirians from Sirius A are those who have good intentions toward human beings. On the other hand, there are those from Sirius B who, in addition to being only slightly different from those of Sirius A, are also said to have not so good intentions toward the human race. In any case, it seems that the inhabitants of Sirius A and Sirius B are deeply involved in the history of humanity. It is possible that these alien beings shared their astronomical knowledge with ancient civilizations, as well as medicinal knowledge and much more. It is also suggested that the Sirians from Sirius B might be involved in the disappearance of the...
Okay, that was a short one, but I think it gave us good information. As I said, Sirians apparently, allegedly, okay, I don't know this information, please, because then I get comments or emails saying, no, you're wrong, it's this and that. I got on the whole series on Sophia and the Demiurge and the Archons and that, I got a lot of apparently corrections. Please, guys, there's no absolutes. Same as I don't know much. Maybe go into inside and know that maybe it's your ego telling you that you know stuff for sure. Because again, I almost can guarantee that most of the people that try to correct me is not their original information. They didn't get it through intuition or through a channeling. They got it from other videos and from other investigations. And how are they sure that that information, that second-hand information they got, is actually accurate? Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at that, because if it is getting a little bit tiring, I don't have a problem. Just keep sending the emails and the comments, but I'm never going to fight with you as far as trying to correct you or anything like that. If you say I'm wrong in your eyes. You're true, I'm wrong, that's fine. I just hope that you keep giving me a chance, and if not, you can always unsubscribe, so watching the channel, because apparently I'm not accurate enough for you. But I keep clarifying that these are just feelings. And yes, I don't know if you know this from the support video, that Sirians from Sirius A, very similar to the Pleiadians. That's interesting. I believe they're actually, again, this race that is migrating to the universe, so very well. Lyrians, Sirians, and Pleiadians, Sirians from Sirius A, and Pleiadians could be just evolvement of the same species, okay? And the case from the Sirius B, that's totally different. Very a race that likes to interfere a lot, and apparently a little bit belligerent and a little bit arrogant as far as very advanced as far as technology and all that. But they see us as inferior, right? That's the feeling I get. That's the intuition I get, that they're still in their process of evolving, of understanding that we're actually equally powerful and equally valuable, and they still see us from up to down in a way. That's how they feel. They still see us humans as, like we're out there with our horses and that. And I do believe that Sirians from Sirius B, as the support video was suggesting, are highly involved in pyramids and that kind of stuff. Because I shared in some pyramids, I get a good resonation. For example, Sedona, Arizona, which is apparently Pleiadian land. I felt great. Honestly, I felt a good energy, a benevolent energy. But for example, in some pyramids in Mexico, which I believe Sirians from Sirius B were involved, maybe in their construction, in the technology, in partnerships with these human civilizations from Mexico, the Mayans, the Aztecs, and that. I felt horrible one time, horrible, going inside that Cholula in close to the city of Puebla, Mexico, pyramid, okay? And I was forced socially, because all my family and friends, we were in a trip with family and friends, my family and other families of friends, and everyone was going in. I was the only one that, oh no, I don't want to do it. And I accepted, just to be socially correct, and that I didn't want to get in an argument, because I'm not going to explain to my family and to the friends that I feel a bad vibe, bad energy. So I went in and felt horrible. I had an issue going out, and someone had to bring me water and that, and I had to really reconnect, rebalance after that. And the reason is because I feel that I'm not vibrating, I'm not resonating with the energy in that pyramid. And apparently, again, we're leaving judgment behind. It's just I don't have agreement with whatever that pyramid stands for, and apparently stands for that energy from Sirius B in partnership with the local Mexican tribe or civilization they were mixing in. Okay, so we're gonna now go to one I'm very fond of. Many stories about the Urmah. Some say they're demons, some say they're scary, some say no. I cannot agree with that. Okay, that's respectful. That opinions, that feelings are respectful. Some say they have fought. Sorry about that, in the astral, in the etheric, with the Urmah, and they're horrible. Okay, that's your experience. What I feel is one of the races I've been part of, and by the way, let me clarify before that came out a little bit wrong. We're all, and there's some show coming soon. You are not from here, I think is the title, and we're all from somewhere else. Okay, this reality was not intended to start a race. It was a little bit forced into that. So same as we're seeing that changes Pleiadians, Lyrians, Sirians, and vegans, that they moved around because of wars, and that same thing with humans. Here, planet Earth, yes, what you see, birds and fish and that, they're most of them, not all, most of them originally from here. But as far as humanity, it was part of them. It was part of nature. So it was not a race, okay, per se, a conscious race. It's like an additional player or something like that. We were forced into becoming a race. So the bodies you see as humans are actually, all of them, in my humble opinion, all of them inhabit a being from somewhere else, and many parts, not just one. Because does it make sense if you're an eternal being and you have been around for a while? Because this reality requires experienced beings. Okay, so there are no newbies here, that you have been so many things. And I don't know the number, but at least 10, 20 races. Okay. In my case, I already spoke Pleiadians, etc. But the Urmah in particular is the one lately resonating a lot. And I'm doing channelings in a way, not channelings, but so I don't do that per se. I'm not at that level yet. But I do visualizations, and I do kind of meditations, and my friends of the Urmah connect. And by the way, how do you know that you're not connected with demons? They're not going to offer quick solutions. They're not going to offer shortcuts. Okay? They don't come, the Urmah, and say, we're going to fix your issues. Because I'm 52 years old. I have health concern. I feel old, like 52. I have financial things I could improve. I don't have a house at the moment. I'm renting, stuff like that. I have my struggles in like a normal human being. I'm not complaining. They don't offer at all try to fix that. They encourage me to be strong, and they guide me like guides should do, because those are our guides or friends from the stars. The guides are not angels per se, and they don't come to God. It's not a plan, and they are your friends, your family from somewhere else. They are just kind of saying, "Hey, you decided to be in this reality, okay? One day we're all gonna know why we decided to come to this place, okay?" And empathy has a lot to do with that. But I think we're all of you listening, and all in the world, we're just empath beings that came to this reality, trying to help it do something else. When you hear the notion of light beings and light keepers and star seeds and that, yes, that's correct, just 100%. Okay, it's just that 85%, they're totally asleep, and they believe they're a human being living this life, and they are either don't think about death, or they think that in that they're going to go to hell or heaven, whatever religious beliefs they have. That's the thing. But that doesn't mean that 84%, they're not here and they didn't come here in empathy. And there were not a lot of them Urmah, and Pleiadians, Lyrians, a lot of Sirians, vegans, etc., etc., etc. Okay? And we're Arturians, and etc. I'm not going to speak about all the races, because actually focus on the one that support video was talking about. And actually next week we're going to talk about 5 races, but I separated it. It's going to be the Anunnaki, the reptilians, etc. So you see the difference, okay? The Urmas, beautiful in my opinion, beautiful. They are the feline force of the universe, kind of mixed with a human and a tiger, a lion, something like that. Very powerful, but very benign, and they vibrate in harmony. Okay, so let's watch the support video. The gentleman for the video speaks about the Urmah, about as cat people or something like that, catoids. That's another name, but they're very well known as the Urmah.
Number 12. The Gatoids. The felines are a bipedal race known for their strength and great height. Their skin is covered by a kind of soft fuzz, and although they don't have skin like humans, both males and females have manes, and especially on their heads, they have long hair. The color of their eyes ranges from blue to golden, and can change from blue to gold as they mature. They can also shift from a brown color to gold and even to white. The feline temperament in general is warm, sanguine, and intellectual. As they mature, they develop a more sober, introspective, and calm character. The elders are revered for their wisdom, compassion, and introspection. As part of the universal play of creation, the founders gave the felines a new blueprint in the constellation of Lyra for their home.
Okay, short and sweet. I cannot argue with anything of that. And basically that. Again, we try to leave judgment out of it, but we are all in a line, and in a line, there are places in the line, okay? And that's what we're gonna talk about next week when we talk about the draconians and that. It's not that they're horrible, it's not that they're bad, it's not that they're dark, it's not that they're involuted. They require evolution. And the Urma are a little bit more advanced in that sense. That's the only difference. It's like being in a line and you're, I don't know, 5th in the line and someone is 20th in the line. You're both in the line, okay? And the one that is 20th someday is going to be 5th, someday is going to be 1st. And that's what I believe is going to happen with all of these races. Of course, as we traverse this reality, why do a lot of people that understand what's going on with planet Earth say this is my last incarnation in planet Earth? Because it's not ready for advanced life. And we miss it, okay? And that's why a lot of us, millions, billions, get intuitions like the one I got as a child. As soon as I was conscious, I'm talking 5, 6 years old, I knew I was not from here. And I knew this reality was unexplained. And it's not a matter of logic or the mind. I felt it inside. I felt it in my heart, this reality. What is this? Okay. I couldn't remember that I accepted to be here, so I'm not a victim. Where there are no victims in the universe. We accepted to be here. I believe we all came in empathy. We all came because there was a call for help. That's it. So it's not a game, it's not a video game, it's not a simulation, it's not benign, it's not divine, You are not learning anything. Trust me, the spirit doesn't need to learn anything. Your body, yes, that's why you have an evolution in your life, in this life, okay? Your body and your astral body, also called soul, yes, they both evolve, but your spirit is 100%. It's like the best car you can imagine in the world that comes out of the factory, shining and that. And it's always like that. Has no possibility to be less than 100%. Your spirit is already there. It's here for the ride. That's why you have a body, a soul, and a spirit. Okay? What happens? How do you live this reality when you leave your body? Air quotes, death. Okay? You lose the body, and then you have to lose the soul. That's the key. That's the hard part. That's in the astral. That's in the 4D. And we're going to have a show. It's already prepared like 10 shows. That's why I'm telling you what we're going to have in the near future. We have a show from two gentlemen that I interviewed on the Spanish channel, El Show de Alex .tv. Those interviews are already out. It's Luis Garre from Spain and Patrick Vargas from Chile. And you can watch, I know it's in Spanish, but through the technology of dubbing, auto dubbing from YouTube, you can watch it in English with a high level of quality. But I took a 3-minute clip from their own show. I was not in part of that. They had a show them together. How do they explain about losing the soul, about winning that the game in the astral? Okay, so I hope you enjoy this show. I'm gonna come back next week. It's gonna be harder than next week because we're gonna talk about insectoids, reptilians, draconians, Anunnaki, and I'm forgetting one. Okay, the Greys. I'm sorry that those 5. So you see the pattern. They are a little bit behind. Okay, they are a little bit behind in the involvement, but that's perfectly fine because they're gonna get there someday somehow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great weekend. Take care. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover your true self. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and to serve others. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover your true self? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to the universe. Simply ask, who am I? Where do I come from? What is my purpose? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about this reality start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering your true self equals to real freedom. Your self-imposed limits will fall and you will be ready to understand this reality, but you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will set up a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, lust, envy, violence, justice, true violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only your egoic mind and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Thank you very much for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@thealexshow.tv. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.thealexshow.tv. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very